set up, you're going to need 6 to 12 weave poles, a long piece of rope and a tape measure. Picking up a weave pole and one end of the rope, put the weave pole in the ground and tie the end of rope around the base of it. Picking up another weave pole, stretch the rope out so that it's straight, put the weave pole in the ground and tie the other end of the rope around it. The distance between your weave poles should be 60 centimeters or 2 feet. The purpose of the rope is to make sure that all your weave poles are in one straight line. To put in your second weave pole, measure 60 centimeters out from your first weave pole. Mark this spot and put your second weave pole in. Continue this step until all your weave poles are put in the ground and are the same distance apart. Now that all your poles are in a straight line, you can remove the rope. Here's what your poles should look like. The first step in teaching a dog the weavers is to make a channel. When a dog does the weave poles, it enters in on its left shoulder. So moving to the second pole, move it a foot back from the line of the others, ensuring that when your dog does the weave poles, it will be entering on its left shoulder. Continue this down every second weave pole. This should be what your channel looks like. For this first part, I strongly suggest using a lead, especially if your dog has never done the weave poles before. Line your dog up so they can see straight down the channel. Use the lead to gently guide the dog, making sure you give them a command like weave as they go. Once your dog starts to understand the channel, you can remove the lead. Don't be upset if your dog doesn't do the channel like it does when it has its lead on. Just take them back to the previous step. When you feel your dog is confident in doing the channel, it's time to start to bring the poles in closer. The poles that you want to move are the ones that you moved a foot out from the baseline. Because Lucy's already done this step in her weave pole training, I decided to move the poles half a foot in just to show you what I mean. But feel free to move them however far apart you want. When your dog goes through the thinner channel, it shouldn't be any different to the original channel. When you get to the point where your weave poles are almost all in the original line, it's time to start using the V method. Remembering that your dog needs to enter the weave poles on the left shoulder, move the first weave pole so it leans to the left, the second to the right, the third to the left, the fourth to the right, and so on. Your weavers should now look like this. For this next part, I would once again recommend using a lead for your dog. The V method is a little bit tricky. However, training the V method is very similar to training the channel method. Just use the lead as a guide for your dog and remember to use your voice commands for the weavers. As your dog gets more confident using the V method, make the poles more vertical. This is what they look like now. No, Lucy didn't grow larger in the last couple of seconds, she just isn't up to this part in training yet. So I've got my agility champion Zach here to show you how to finish these off. When you get to this stage in the training, it's really important to make sure that your dog has speed through the weave poles. If they don't, it can cost you seriously when you're in a trial. When you can see that your dog is confident through the nearly vertical weavers, it's time to make them vertical weavers. This is what ours look like. If your dog was doing fine in the nearly vertical weavers, then it should take to the vertical weavers like a duck to water. You can tell if they're getting enough speed up if they're hopping through the weavers like Zach is. It can take anywhere from a few weeks to a couple of months for your dog to fully learn the weavers, so be sure not to push them if they're not ready to go to the next step. Thanks a ton for watching, guys. We wish you heaps of luck in your weave pole training. Bye!